cheating.
I want to see something like we saw yesterday.
All right, we're going to call, the time is here, we're going to call the special meeting and committee meetings of the Edenton Town Council for October 27th, 2025 to order. Our first agenda item is our special meeting, which is a special presentation from Chesson and Dwayne Wilton, and they will review the last year as it relates to the social district. We have a report that comes before us on an annual basis, and so Chess and Dwayne, if you'll come forward and lead us through that. Also would like to point out that in our committee meetings later, the same issue is going to be on, and that'll be time for us to talk and express our concerns or express the things that we've seen that have worked with that. So at this point in time on the agenda, we're just receiving the presentation from Chess and Dwayne. Chess?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Councilman. I don't have any fancy presentation. I apologize. It's been a busy couple of week, and so but happy to report that with the expanded days and hours, we've been 7 days a week now for the past 6 months, 5 to 9 from Monday through Thursday, 11 to 9, or sorry, Monday through Friday, 11 to 9, Saturday and Sunday. Again, no incidents in the previous past, good feedback from the businesses downtown, and also good feedback from people visiting and residents alike. There's not much to report, honestly, and that's a good thing, I think, in this situation. So happy to answer any questions about the past 6 to 12 months with the social district, how it's affected businesses.
What are our businesses saying? Do they want to see anything changed, or?
There's a little confusion right now about when the hours are, what time of the day it is, and that's education. We go through, we give them maps, we give them stickers, we talk about it. But that's, it's also only been a year, 2 years.
We find this, the cups and the stencils, they kind of hassle, they're okay with that?
No, everyone's fine with it, yeah. We have a number of businesses. So what we did was Main Street bought the first round of 500 stickers, I think, for each business. We've had 2 or 3 that have had to reorder, and when they reorder, it's on them. And then we have a couple businesses that don't, doesn't align, that haven't gotten rid of their stickers yet.
And it's businesses that prohibit it, they're not having any issues, people coming in?
No issues, yeah. The signage is easy. A lot of the businesses that don't want social drinks in the store don't want any drinks. And so it gives them a talking point to ask people to leave coffee or any other drinks at the door as well.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, yeah. Leave your children outside.
There were 2 things that came up at the last presentation. One was signage. I know the ambassadors asked for larger signs. I don't think I've seen that. Where are we at?
So what we did 6 months ago is we're rebranding from Social District to the Sip and Stroll District. One thing was that the Social District wasn't really intuitive enough. Like and so we've got it in a rebrand, which you'll see in the presentation, and so we were wanting to rebrand before we ordered new signs and had to do everything again. So we have larger signs quoted and priced out, and maybe Dwayne can speak to that, but our intent is to do more signage and larger signage.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the ABC number is supposed to be printed on the sticker, is that right?
No, just the ABC establishment is my understanding.
I thought that was a discussion that we had, that the ABC number would be printed on along with the logo.
That might be a question. What does the statute require? Do you know?
I don't think it requires an ABC number.
Just the ABC license, where the date of sale, I think is supposed to be on there, and then the ABC license establishment.
On the sticker?
Yeah.
We just double check that and make sure that it's on that sticker.
And just double check to make sure we're in compliance with
Yeah.
the statutes. Now, Dwayne, are you going to have to present to us also tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And will you be the one who's going to make some recommendations?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And just so I can point out to the public and also to this body that we're not voting on anything tonight. As we normally do, the special meeting and committee meetings are designed to give us attention as to issues that might be on the next board meeting for action, and also will give the general public the same notice. So just wanted to remind y'all of that.
Mayor,
Yes.
during my report, I was going to defer to Dwayne.
Okay, all right. Chief, have we had any problems with note or anything that you felt like was specifically because of the social district?
The only issue we've had is the playground, and I think if we get those larger signs, we should be in pretty good shape. People doesn't seem to stop, sometimes they want to drink and take the kids there, and then we'll have to go down and talk with them, but I think better signage will fix that.
Okay.
The new logo has a little more color to it as well, which tends to help.
So stand out better.
Mm.
Okay. All right, anything else, Jess?
No, sir?
Okay, all right. So that concludes our special meeting. Next, we're going to move to our committee meetings, and tonight's committee meetings consist solely of the administrative committee chaired by Councilman Miller.
Thank you, Mayor.
Craig?
We got 3 items of business tonight. The first item being the social district ordinance and management plan review. And as you just heard from Chess's presentation, town staff are requesting an expansion of the Main Street social district area and the number of hours and days alcohol beverages may be consumed by customers in accordance with the provisions of General Statute 18B-3.1. This time, I would like to call on Dwayne Wilton to give us an additional insight into the social district ordinance and the management plan.
And so I'll pull it up on the screen here, and I just sit right here and I'll explain it, that's fine. There was only 2 things in the ordinance that has changed, and I highlighted and struck out what that was. One being the recommendation of basically just standardized timing for the social district being Monday through Sunday 11 to 9, as well as, well, we'll get in the management plan, I'll show you the other. So the management plan, it kind of lists the requirements of the, I guess, the general statute regulating social districts. And we can go through that. Container clearly identifies ABC permanent, and we went through this in multiple other meetings that we've had on this subject. The Edenton Downtown Social District logo, canvas glass, 16-point font, drink responsibly, B21, cannot hold more than 16 fluid ounces, completed acknowledgement form. So there's a few stipulations in here in the management plans where it was struck through to include Monday through Sunday, 11 to 9. Registration form, that's standard. And that is going to change with the new rebranding, and I'll show you that in just a second. So here's the new map, the new rebranding map. This is the very last update when we talk about the boundary updates and everything that we can see. This encompasses all commercial downtown related zoning district. It still excludes the park, but includes the sidewalk to connect from Sunfish Park to Broad Street to get you to Barker House. Includes the pier where people can come in on boats, as well as the breakwater walkway. But that's really the only expansion that has occurred, is to include Sunfish Park and the sidewalk that connects. Anything fenced in area or along the zip line is still off limits. And we will be, if approved, this will be the new sign, and we will make sure that it is, I've already been talking to the sign designer, they will be able to make us larger signs to go, especially at the entrance and exit points, as well as at the park, at our place at the downtown Sunfish Park where a lot of the events occur. So we're going to make it very prominent at the entrance and exits along the boundary line. Interior will probably still go small just to keep that minimalized feel, but will be strategically placed like they are now in front of establishments that participate in this social district.
A question, why would anybody sit and stroll down that little area in West Eden Street? Is there something happening there in the near future that we're not aware of?
West.
There's a couple of businesses.
Yeah, there's businesses that run back to 2 town-owned parking areas that have the potential to, at some point, be occupied by a business that could have alcohol or be part of this. It's just a matter of
Inclusionary.
yeah, just to include them. Very much like what you see on the East Queen section at the top, that there's the potential for
I
those.
just thought there was a barber shop down there, and you got the side entrance to
And you-
got Palms, and you got, 2 attorneys' offices.
Yeah, that's a great point. So a lot of this is economic development driven. So there was a vacant building down there that we wanted to include just in case they wanted to participate in the social district and not exclude anybody.
That's the last building before the parking lot on the north side of the.
Yes, sir. And so that was kind of, we didn't want to exclude, and it includes all commercial downtown zoned areas.
And Dwayne, with the potential change in hours, is that just to simplify for the,
And like Chess, I've spoken to a few people that work and serve alcohol in some of the establishments, and that was, they're hiring, new hires are having to check, and some don't know. We just want to not put anybody in a place where they're going to break the law, basically, make it more standardized and easier to understand.
Before we vote on this, can you give us, lack of a better description, a side-by-side rendering of what the proposed geographic expansion is versus what our current one is?
Yes, sir.
So we can actually look at it with the outline, kind of a simplified version.
Yes, sir.
And Mayor, I'm glad you bring that up, because if you remember, one portion that's tied to this, when we look at the footprint, we're trying to really fully utilize anywhere the space is, in addition to what we've seen for the West Eden and East Queen Street to include those businesses. When we look at the management plan, if you remember, prior to the social district, the resolutions were passed for events. So when we look at what is now this full 100% of what our commercial downtown could be, there's a piece of this that's embedded as well as for events. So if there's something at the Sunfish Park location, if there's something at the lighthouse, etc., that allows that to be something easier for the management, the administration to actually approve without having to come back to council for that ABC resolution. So that's some of the mindset here as far as the change that you're seeing in the footprint of the district itself.
I haven't heard a word about it from anybody. And I haven't seen many people
I haven't even
use it. I mean, I'm down here a lot.
I see people use it, but it's,
But not very often.
no, it's controlled. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's going fine.
The ambassadors help keep that under control too,
They do, they keep an eye on this, and they have a good relationship with the staff and the officers that are on to call, and they try to, if something's there, to handle this somewhat cordially, to make sure now if someone's being obscene and out of line, that's a whole different issue, but they do answer questions about this periodically.
and Dwayne, have you all discussed this at some of the downtown business meetings and stuff like that?
We have one on Thursday. It's on the agenda.
Can I ask you, this is going great. You haven't had any problems or anything. Everything is flowing good. Have we thought about adding more ambassadors to give the police a hand, more eyes on the street to control the situation?
We've expanded the hours to include, and you can correct me, Chief, for the
Yes, sir.
hours. I think we included Wednesdays through Sundays.
Yes, sir.
So instead of just the weekends, it's gone from Wednesday through Sundays.
And those positions, as well as our trolley positions, ones that we're just trying to really fully utilize, we haven't had any new applications come in, but they're still open. We've kept them open during this whole time because we're very much a fan of trying to get as many ambassadors to mimic the timing of this as well. But those Mondays and Tuesdays we had kept off, but now that could add potentially 2 more days if we see restaurants or businesses opening on that Monday. So I'd say at a minimum, we'd probably see a gain of at least Tuesdays now.
So is Saturday still your biggest, heaviest day?
Yes, sir.
Saturdays, yeah.
Yes, sir.
My impression of things is that we have the best ambassadors that we've had in a while, and my also second impression is that Chief and his officers are doing a better job of having a downtown presence, and I hear the residents and the downtown businesses thank that. And what I'm about to say may well go hand in hand with what I just said. And my general impression is our downtown behavior in general, outside of any considerations of the social district, seem to be good.
Yeah, we're doing
I mean,
good.
people are understanding that you come downtown to shop and behave, and still have a good time.
But we'll have one every blue moon, but usually it doesn't have anything to do with the social district.
Yeah.
It's just somebody decides to have a bad day.
Yeah, but I've noticed it seems like the behavior in general is better, because we had a couple of years there where the downtown behavior was not what it should have been.
We try to keep somebody down here as much as we can, so that seems to hinder it a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Councilman Bond, since we've got an opportunity with one of our news reporters here, as well as a broadcast, we would like to make that plug. If anyone's interested in being an ambassador, please apply at Town of Edenton's website. We enjoy these part-time staff members, and they are a benefit to our community.
I'm saying some information on it.
So staffing is the only reason why we have been able to fill Mondays and Tuesdays?
And we're fully staffed with that part-time role, with as many applicants that we've had that hasn't
Well,
been
I am, I couldn't.
just haven't applied. And there's still those in the trolley drivers, there's still.
Okay. Councilman Miller, is that part of your report? And you'll move to the lieutenant job description and salary scale update.
Okay, Mayor, as you're aware, last month, council approved the elimination of two positions, police detective sergeant position and the police captain position. And in its places, council approved the creation of two new police lieutenant positions, one administrative and one operational. Since then, staff have been in touch with Management and Personnel Services Group, MAPS, for help in determining an appropriate job description and salary scale for both positions. Once the MAPS Group makes a determination regarding the two new positions, MAPS people will present to us for our review and approval. This could possibly happen at our next meeting.
And Councilman Miller, we have received some response back on Sunday afternoon from the folks from the MAPS group. The police chief and I are going to meet and go through some of that with our HR director. And we feel pretty confident to try to have something back at the next meeting that would show those two job descriptions as well as the ranges that they fall into.
Correct.
And we'll be posting shortly thereafter that, assuming we all approve it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I know sooner is better than later, but are you comfortable with the January timeframe?
Yes, sir. I mean, we could do it sooner, that'd be good, but
Yeah.
we'll take it. Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds good.
Forward this on to council.
Okay, yeah. And next, Councilman Dixon, the Public Information Officer update.
Right, in order to cover the PIO, Public Information Officer position vacancy, the town manager has made the decision to hire a temporary administrative assistant to fill the vacancy gap during the next 90 days. In the meantime, Tammy Woodley, our HR staff person, has been in contact with the MAPS group to assist us with the creation of an appropriate Public Information Officer job classification. Once the MAP groups makes a final determination on the PIO position, their analysis and decision will be presented to council for review and approval. This should happen in the very near future.
We're anticipating to go through the formal approval process over the next 90 days with council, and this temporary position should last through the end of January.
And we're not only looking at changing it and creating it, but also working with the MAPS group, not just on the job classification, but also the job description.
That's correct, Mayor.
Can you give us, or highlight some of the details you want to change about it?
Well, we've got two vacancies, both of which have really clung to the public information side of that. If you remember when this first started, there were also some administrative items in-house, really more of an office clerk, that those candidates failed to do. And because of that, we're trying to see is the PIO information job description not accurate on what the person is. Should this be an executive assistant? Should this be something that has that PIO role that also has the ability to help with some of the executive items that are needed for Dwayne, myself, and Tammy.
What two positions are open outside the PI? What's the other position outside the PI?
No, I'm saying these two vacancies, we've had this position now twice, and both candidates are no longer with us. And so, and the reason I say that is they've done really well at the outreach, the social media piece, which any young person can do well at, but some of the administrative items that we need really for Dwayne and myself, just, that's really what we're trying to make sure we get this.
Is that we're trying to, I guess, separate Tammy's position from
Yes.
HR?
Yes, yeah, and so really for us, you know, if PIO is not the right title, do executive assistants also deal with the public information piece that executive staff need?
Yeah, as long as we're meeting that outreach piece, I know that was the reason for creating the PIO position, is to help with the transparency and getting things out to the public. That's been one of the biggest complaints that I've seen, hey, look, we're not pushing things out on social media anymore. So we definitely want to make sure we're doing that. Also updating the meetings on the website has been another thing I've heard. So inclusive with that position, as long as we're making sure that those things are getting accomplished. I'm
And if
fine with
you
it.
remember when we evolved from the PIO/office clerk to just the PIO piece, a big portion of adding those additional responsibilities was that the outreach piece is not enough alone for what this person needs to do timing wise. So that's why those office needs, those executive office needs have been added to that. And so that's why we want to make sure we get it right this time.
And can we make sure that, as Councilman Constant said, the minutes and posting those timely
Yep.
is a top priority
Yes.
in that job description?
Yes,
Who's handling those duties right now? Just yourself?
just me.
And we don't need you doing that, we need you doing it.
Exactly.
I can help you.
How long before you have the temporary assistant?
We've interviewed for folks now for the temporary position. We have one more this week. We plan on.
You have some good applicants.
We do. We have some good applicants for that role. But as that role evolves, that will help us with some of the duties and things that we need. We plan for that role to run through the end of January at the longest, at the latest.
At first glance, do any of these applicants for the interim job appear to have on paper and as you interview them, have the skill set to perhaps?
They have
fill
some of
this
the
position?
office item needs that we've determined. I think the PIO piece is going to be still fairly new for most of these things.
But of course, once we get the job classification down pat and the job description down pat, we're going to be re-noticing the permanent position.
Yes.
The interim people can apply if they want
Yes,
to,
that's right.
and other people who now see that it's a permanent position can apply also.
That's correct.
And it goes to full council.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to thank the general public for being here. I would like to thank the council, Councilman Costa and I. We were talking about this before the meeting. We have worked very hard this calendar year, and I know y'all are very thankful that we had a meeting that lasted only 24 minutes. And they all don't last 24 minutes, but thank you for your patience and your hard work here in 2025, because we have had a number of long and contentious meetings, and I want to know how much, all of you know how much I appreciate it. With that being said, I'll adjourn this meeting happily.